DJ Switch. How you doing, man?
I'm easy, man.
When are you dropping a new joint? Let me start that way.
So I've just dropped 2 mixtapes last year. I'm now DJ Switch, the mixtape king. Rise of Istrato with just like Cape Town rappers. Is it Xhosa rappers? And then I dropped another one with P.O called Like Water. And next we're going to studio with Gigi Lamaine. We're going to be doing a new mixtapes. Yeah, because I think the DJ needs to drop mixtapes. For us, that's the thing. I'm the mixtape king. The DJ that's dropped the most mixtapes in South Africa.
Hip Hop Museum. What does this place mean to you?
I think walking into the museum, I've looking at some of these images, seeing the late Double HP, the late PRO, and current superstars holding it down. Caspo's he's just taking this game to another level. Being here from the beginning, just like Osmic was speaking, and his intention for this museum, it's one of a kind. The energies. It's just like, if you've been here before some of these artists and you're still here seeing what's happening in the space, this is just, it's momentous. You understand? You can't explain the feeling to see a Snaz D that killed the microphone, to see ammunition, produced like Battle Cat, to see, just the whole sphere, coming together and seeing all these images to know that we've built this all because of love and passion. And up until today, my sort of, hand me down or give back is, to try and get the new guys up and to see what we can do with them to build a sustainable community, just like an enriched community just like this. So from everything that you see here, from the pictures, the images, it tells a story. Squatter Camp, Prophets of the City, Black Noise, Khoga, Sky One. These are, this is just to mention these names. It's not to name drop. It's for you to understand the education that has put me to be in this seat. So when someone comes to me and says, "Yo, I'm gonna save hip hop," it's like, what are you talking about? You're not a superhero. You haven't done anything. You don't even have accolades. So I would like to rephrase that and say that you will never ever save hip hop. It will save you. We can't hold it.
Exactly.
We can't control it. But we can definitely add value to it. So being here is adding my value and adding what I've gotten from it, because it gave me life. I need to give somebody else life just as much as I've learned from some of my mentors in the hip hop space. I have to do the same, and that's opening up the pathway.
What exactly is the state of hip hop that is actually memorable then that you never forget?
I think it's when you actually perform with your mentor, icon that you have in South Africa. You perform with them, you open up for them, you take stage, or you take the baton and you move on, or you do something that they wouldn't expect, or you've elevated whatever they've given you. I think that's like something that you that makes you sort of known, but never to say like, yo, I'm better than them, but they've given me a torch and I've taken this torch and I've made it bigger and brighter. That I think is something that's memorable, and that's something that's that's changing things.
Thanks for coming through on the Moroji's stand at the South African Hip Hop Museum. What do you think in hip hop right now that you think can be modified or, change altogether? Just speak straight from the heart. What exactly is in hip hop right now that can be modified for better or can be changed altogether for the better?
I think, with hip hop, coming from the 80s to 2000s, it has its time, it has its space, it has its authenticity, it has, because it's an evoluting kind of sport. The culture doesn't stay in one place, it's forever moving. So whatever happens, good and bad, it's the part of the culture at the time. If you were wearing skinny jeans in the early 80s, there was not, well, it was cult. But if you move to the late 90s, you were wearing skinny jeans then, it wasn't something. You had to have baggy jeans. Now we're all wearing skinny jeans. So now it doesn't matter anymore. The more colorful you are, the better it is. So I think, there is no right and wrong, because it's a freedom of expression. Hip hop is a freedom of expression. If you try and block that or, barricade that form of expression, it's not really then a form or a culture, then that means there's no freedom for it. For me, I say that, that when you look at it wrong, maybe it's just not right for you. But if you look at it right, and you know what I mean, maybe it's just not for you, maybe you just don't feel it. And that's why we have different styles, all styles. If a rapper doesn't rap a certain way, then that's just not your style. You have to adapt to, because there's different styles upon styles, styles upon styles, you know what I mean? And
so what you're saying, there's no need for critiquing or anything?
if you're gonna critique, then you should also accept critique.
Okay, basically.
You know what I mean?
Basically.
That's it.
Basically. Switching up a little bit off this whole rather digital distribution, right? What does it mean to you, and what do you think it has either contributed, either positively or negatively, or whatever it is, to South African hip hop specifically?
I think, when you look at digital distribution, because I'm a person who makes music with artists, so, I'm a producer, and we put out music, and we sell our music to make an extra living. So DSPs, which is digital service providers, they take that cut because they have access to certain avenues that we don't have access to. You can go the SoundCloud route, but we're probably not going to get paid. There's still going to be another digital distributor that's going to give you those paths, and that's like where you just load up your stuff, but there's no contact. There's no there's no contact. You can't speak to anybody on the other line. But if you can find somebody local that's doing a DSP, they're going to take their cut. But remember that they're taking their cut because they're applying your music that you can't do. So they also have to do, there's a bit of an administration, and that's an administration fee. Some of them are from 20% to 30%. Anything more than that, that's a rip-off. And I think that, you need it because you can't be a SoundCloud rapper all the time. You can't just put out a song and hope to get noticed. You need some other backing, just like if you need PR. PR takes you further. It pushes you into another light, to another avenue. There's no way you're going to know who DJ Switch was if I didn't go and put them on different avenues. So those things do play a role, and it's important. Find a reliable DSP, one that's going to pay you on time, that's going to make you, or just maybe I would say be a part of something much bigger and it will actually boost your music. Some people are scared that they're going to get ripped off because they signed to a contract. Then stay with them. Find out first. Do your research on the company. Stay with them for 3 years, and then you can move over because then your contract would have lapsed. DSPs are just it's a very simple procedure. They're just going to distribute your music. They're going to take their cut for putting out the work. And if you make really good music and it will sell, then they'll push into further avenues. Getting music sync deals. I can speak a whole lot of that, but we're not going to speak about it. We don't have enough time for it.
So we get it out of lockdowns and everything, right?
Yeah.
And what would be your kind of what do you project that will make the hip hop industry in South Africa get busy, like kind of reset, or maybe looking forward? What can get us back on track, busy economically?
I think if you were during lockdown, you would have still had to be busy like you were not in lockdown. You'd have to keep active. You'd have to keep doing the things you were doing. I dropped 3 mixtapes in the last 2 years.
Okay.
Right? So I didn't see it as a hindrance or blockade. There was delays, but I think it's just more that you should have been busy. You should have been on it. You should have been consistently rebranding yourself, turning your whole image around. It would give you a proper time to rethink everything, because now, while you were doing all that rebranding, restructuring, now that we open, all that work will come to play, because you'd be ready now to continue doing what you were doing before lockdown.
Pushing. Yeah,
100%. So if you just waited until the country opened and didn't do anything, it's your loss.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because this is a business. You as a brand is a business. You as an artist is a business.
Exactly.
And if you don't treat it like 100%, you can miss the boat. So at the time when everything was shut down, that was the time for you to restructure. There was no noise. There was no performances. No one was performing, so you didn't have to worry about what was going on. But it gave you a good time to rebrand, restructure, realign yourself, and see where you're going with this whole culture thing called hip hop.
They just switch, man. I'm still gonna switch it up a little bit one more time. Okay, in South Africa, right? Who's your favorite rapper right now?
We've got a lot of established rappers. Right now, my favorite rapper is going to be the next big rapper. So
who would that be?
I've also got a podcast. Check it out. Put me on Switch. And we're looking for that new rapper, because I think we've come so tone deaf. I wouldn't say tone deaf, but
Yes.
we've come we've just come to a flat line, because we've heard all these rappers, because some of them are doing, they're not just artists, they're business people, and we've heard them enough times, but they haven't done anything extra to become different.
Let me cut in there. That brings me to my question, like before, that says, what exactly are you looking forward to to switch up. I like to use your name because
Yeah.
it's so interesting to me.
I think-
to switch up at the game, or modify. That's the
Yeah.
word I used.
I think when you're just unique and you're just yourself, you people will get it on the get go. When you drop a song, they'll say like, "Yo, this person's different," because it's not something we've heard. It's something that we're looking for. It's something that we want to hear. Something that something that's just gonna be appetizing because hip hop is evolving all the time. It wants you to hear new things more often, as opposed to like other genres. They're more like like that's what we know. Hip hop, it changes. I mean, we're still young. We like just over 30 years old worldwide. We've done so much to become one of the biggest monopolies in the world. You know what I mean? It's not like it's a small game. We've got billionaires in hip hop. We've got its aesthetic, we've got foundation, we've got culture. You know what I mean? We've got a story to tell, and that's why it is a culture. So for me, when someone comes out, I want to know: do you know your history? But also, are you trying to sound like somebody? Are you using that somebody as a reference so you can define
Your
or
own
modify
sound.
your own sound?
Yes.
Because a lot of people come in, they're looking for a sound, but they just don't know which is the right one. Because one day you're gonna sound like Nasty, tomorrow you're gonna sound like MT, the last phase you sounded like Aries, and now it's like, okay, so which one is it? You take all three and you get your own. And I think when you understand the game, you start playing the game, you'll know exactly who you are and what you're doing. Like, I know what I have to do in my space as a DJ. I know what I have to do. I've done the breakdancing thing because when you come into hip hop, you do everything. You're a rapper. Today you're a rapper. Then you're a DJ. Then you're an MC. Then you're a graffiti artist. And then you're like, yo, which one am I really good at?
Exactly. That brings me to the question, like, which one of all of these things is your favorite?
I mean, dancing, I would love to have carried on, but I just couldn't carry on. And that, there was, you have to start looking at certain things. If you want to make this a living, you got to start, applying your spare time and making your spare time business. And I had to change that into becoming a business. I've got a diploma, but I don't want to do that, but I've applied what I've learned to my diploma. So it's not a waste. I didn't waste my mother's money because all that money I've paid back over and over. It added value to my career, and I'm still here. I was looking at some of the dates of when I started this, and I was just like, geez, a lot has happened. You heard Vokes up there. He's my partner in crime. We started out the biggest breakdance movement from just starting a competition, a vision to understand that we can put help b-boys put money in their pockets and put it on the table. We can do that, and that's what it is. And that's just how you'll find you'll know when you're the best, because b-boys evolve to DJs or to rappers, or rappers evolve
back. It's back and
100%.
forth.
It's back and
Exactly.
forth. You become either a historian. You don't have to just stay a b-boy, rapper, graffiti artist, or DJ. You can become a videographer. You can become a presenter.
Exactly.
It's just the fifth element, which is knowledge of self, where you find yourself. And if you're still in hip hop and you want to add this to hip hop because you've got a skill,
A skill, yeah.
yeah,
Put it on.
you can add it and put it in. You know what I mean? I think when you want to play your part, you'll know exactly what your part is, because you've tried everything, and you're like, well, if I'm not good at DJing, b-boying, graffiti, or rapping, maybe I can become a videographer. Maybe I can become an editor. Maybe I can a graphic designer, presenter. You've acquired different types of skills to add value to this.
Awesome, man. They just switch, man. I love to switch up, and so I must maybe borrow some part of your name to be mine as well. So, they just switch, man. Drawing the curtain, I just want you to maybe give a shout out to, a word of advice to, because this place is beautiful. This South African Hip Hop Museum. Using this place as an example, yourself, experience, and everything. Speak to the young folks out there what they need to do to be able to become legendary like DJ Switch and be able to work their way into the Hall of Fame, which is the South African Hip Hop Museum.
I think just be yourself.
All right.
Be yourself, and don't try and just come in here for a quick buck. Just be true. Be true to this culture. Be true to this sport, and you're gonna find yourself. You're gonna save yourself. Don't try and save hip hop. You're gonna save yourself, and in many, many ways. And you're gonna save your family. And I think just be you. Just be you, and know what you're doing this for. A lot of people don't know why they're even doing this. They're doing it because their friends are doing it.
Doing
Now
it.
they think like, oh, I also got to rap because my friends are
Exactly.
rapping, or I got to DJ because my friends are DJing.
We
You
got
know,
that all the time.
and it's like that's it. So just be you, just be true to yourself, and find out what you're gonna, what you want out of this.
Exactly.
Because a lot of people don't know what they're doing this, and you might not even know in the first 2 or 3 years what you want out of this. You're just doing it, and you could be really good at adding value in doing this, but it's just a matter of you deciding what you want out of it. So be true to yourself. One.
No, awesome, man. That's DJ Switch.
What it do? It's your boy DJ Switch, the mixtape king. If you don't know now, you watching Mojis.com. Let's get it, baby.
Exactly.
Live. Put me on Switch. Let's get it.
Yeah.